Dear Eve, and welcome to Sibyl Tarot. This is a reading. I'm going to pull a few tarot cards here and a few oracle cards as well. If this reading does not resonate, it does not resonate, and move on. I'm just going to see what unfolds here in this reading. I've shuffled most of the cards here, most of the decks. So I'm just going to see what pops out. So the first card is the Nine of Water. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away. A love of life. So the Nine of Water in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot is the Nine of Cups, and it talks about wish fulfillment, an everyday wish. Talk about, you know, having support around you, good friends, good family. What else do we have? We have the Hermit card. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. So the Hermit card sometimes talks about being in a grey area at the moment, but to know there is light at the end of the tunnel. It talks about going within to find the answers. You can also talk about being guided by spiritually guided. You talk about having the wisdom within inside yourself. You can talk about planets aligning. You can talk about yourself aligning up, you know, to a new path. This is lovely. And then we have the Four of Water, and in here it's missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So the Four of Water is the Four of Cups, and it can talk about being disappointed, you know, finding disappointment, you know, in someone or something that you love, you know, that you have, you know, an emotional attachment to. You can also sometimes talk about, you know, being emotionally blackmailed, you know. The Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive and curious. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans. Truth delivered without tact. So the Page of Air is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords can talk about, you know, information coming to you. This Page of Air is lovely, actually. The picture in it is gorgeous. Truth delivered without tact. I feel maybe, you know, seeing, you know, the truth for what really is, you're being aligned, with the universe. I do feel as well, it's something to do, with the circle, of life. And the Two of Earth here, we have too much going on at once, the need to make a decision, consider a more playful approach. So the Two of Earth is also the Two of Pentacles. This is definitely talking about coming into alignment. We're here with the Page of Earth. Page of Earth, and the Two of Earth coming into alignment. Coming onto your soul's path, your soul's journey. Rediscovering, what it is that you're here for. Being more self-aware here with the Hermit card. Trusting that, trusting kind of in the universe, that things will, work out. Actually coming into, having that feeling that, things are working out for you. Being, somewhat modest as well. Knowing that, maybe looking back in the past, knowing that, things happened for a reason, but it's bringing you onto, your spiritual path here. Your spiritual, journey. It's aligning you for what's to come, what's to come in the future. Yeah, because you may have been disappointed in the past, but or you felt that there was disappointment there in the past, but the reason why it's opening up you to a better path, better possibilities, is asking you to open up to receive. And I feel, it is to do with, with your soul's journey, because I pulled the cards here from the Shaman deck at the beginning of it, and I just wanted to, for an overall energy, and we got soul retrieval, in the reverse, which I'll get onto a bit later on. I'm going to use the Tarot Illuminati deck here. So the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords. We have, so the Queen of Swords, yeah, I feel you're cutting, the binds, your thoughts, you're cutting away from, mental, strife, something that kept you stuck. something that kept you, you know, entrapped or imprisoned within, you know, a situation or a relationship. Or you have done. I feel, you know, you've had support around this, you know, with friends. I feel as to why, you know, you knew yourself, you know, you needed, you know, to transform and to have a different way of thinking. I feel that only recently you've done this. You've cut the binds. Now it could have taken a while for you to do that. For some, I say that, you know, you've broken away from, you know, a relationship where you felt, you know, restricted there. You could have been, you know, this relationship could have brought you a lot of anxiety, you know, caused you actually physical, you know, with your health. You know, you could have had you could have been suffering, you know, from your stomach or, you know, bowel area, but I think it was more because of stress. This relationship caused you a lot of stress and made you kind of physically sick. I feel as well for some that, you know, you may have even lost, you know, weight, or that you weren't eating, you were under eating. Because of this, but I feel in the recent past you have, you know, cut ties with this. And it may not be in a relationship, it could have been, you know, a situation that caused you a lot of stress and anxiety. Wow, this is lovely. Whoa, this is lovely. In your present time, we have here is the Alchemist, which is the Magician. We have the Two of Cups. We also have the Ten of Cups, and we have the Lover's card. It's lovely. So I just feel, you know, in the present time, you're, yeah. So, the Alchemist here has, you know, you're creating, manifesting, you know, a new beginning for you. You're learning how to, you know, be the alchemist. Do you know what it is that you need, you know, to create, you know, a good future, you know, a positive future. You have all the, you know, the components to do this, but you know, you're learning. And I feel that for a lot, it's, you know, that you want to manifest, you know, a new relationship, or there is a new relationship coming towards you because of what you have done. You know, you've let go of something here, you know, and it could be even just thoughts, you know, of anxiety, or, you know, a way of thinking, you know, and you've broken out from that way of thinking, and now you're manifesting, you know, you're thinking in a different way, different logic as well. We do have the infinity sign here over the Alchemist, and I feel this is to do with the Lion's Gate, which was, you know, the 8th of the 8th 2020. They talk about that it's a new portal. I do know for myself that particular day was very poignant for me. There was different things that kind of I had how would you say, difficulty of doing, and it was to do with, you know, different areas, you know, in my life, and just it all just came about. Closed different chapters out, and it but this here is the Alchemist. So we also have, you know, is the Two of Cups. So it talks about a new relationship, could be friendship, you know, could be to do with work. I feel so though more it's to do, you know, with a romantic situation, but two people coming together, you know, in love. It's also going to be you know, for some, a romantic soulmate partnership. And also we have here is the Kundalini symbol. It's going to be, you know, very healing, you know, this relationship that's coming towards you in the present time. And it's, you know, the sharing of two cups, you know, equal reciprocity, equal give and take. You know, the feminine and masculine energy coming together, and yeah, it's very, you know, it's going to be a very spiritual relationship here with the Ten of Cups. You know, spiritual awareness, divine counterpart, you know, happy families all around. And I feel, you know, the two energies are being manifesting this, you know, and it could be, you know, in the 5D, but it's coming now into the 3D. The Ten of Cups, you know, with the Lovers. So the Lovers, you know, talks about the closing of the gap, you know, in the Garden of Eden, and also here with the Ten of Cups talks about the Garden of Eden. And funny enough that this soul card, soul retrieval, also talks about returning to the Garden of Eden. You know, you may have compromised yourself, you know, in a relationship. You compromised your integrity, you know, and this, you know, relationship was unrequited. And I feel that, you know, for some, that, you know, you've left a relationship or something that, you know, that you compromised yourself in, and now, you know, Spirit is guiding you back to the, you know, to the Garden of Eden, and telling you not to compromise yourself again in the future, because the right person or the right situation or the right partnership will come to you, you know, without you having to compromise. And this is lovely, really, really nice. And that's because, you know, with the Hermit, you've gone within, you know, you've learned, you know, you've got a lot of wisdom, you know, by going, you know, through this experience, you know. And once again, it's talking about, you know, the Lion's Gate, that this is why, you know, you've gone, your past, or, you know, it's going through, you know, you're going through doors, so to speak, you know, a new portal, a new beginning for you, a new life change, you know. And I do feel for a lot it's, you know, to do with, you know, a romantic soul connection, soulmate. You know, we're all soulmates, you know, we're all one, we're all on this planet, but, you know, a romantic soulmate connection. Let's see what's in. Going forward, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Sun card, and the Justice. This is just lovely. So I feel just with the Four of Pentacles that you were holding, you know, you've always believed, you know, that security of some sort, you know, or you've always believed in a certain thing, you know. You may have compromised it in the past, you know, to do with a relationship, but you're back on course now, you know. Definitely see that, you know, your mind, body and spirit now is back, you know, it's in alignment, you know, and what it's bringing is, you know, the Sun, which is positive healing all round. You know, there's no better card in the tarot deck than the Sun. And it's, you know, it depicts like, you know, a child on a horse breaking through a wall, you know, being successful. You know, it can talk also, you know, about your inner child. And so can this card here. Once again, we're going back to this soul retrieval. This talks about, you know, looking back on your life from as a young child and letting go of hurts, you know, that have caused you pain. But you kind of have to, you know, look back, you know, go over the experience again. But I feel with this Hermit card that, you know, a lot of you, you know, some, you know, this reading's resonating. You've done this work, do you know what I mean? And you've probably done this, you know, in the last couple of years. You've gone back over, you know, your life, and as to why, you know, you ended up in certain, you know, situations or, you know, relationships, you know. And I don't mean just, you know, romantic relationships. It could be, you know, relationships to do with your father, your mother, you know, your siblings, or that, friends or whatever. But it's, you know, it talks about, you know, the soul retrieval, that you're letting go of all this karma, you know, all this past life karma, you know, that had you bound, you know, in a way, you know, that kept you closed off, you know. And that could be closed off, you know, emotionally, it could be closed off, you know, spiritually, it could be closed off financially, you know what I mean, that you weren't seeing. It was keeping you back, you know, that way, you know. And it could be in that, you know, it was keeping you back from, you know, beliefs, you know, what you were brought up, you know, to believe, what your parents taught you, you know, maybe, you know, the good or the bad or that, you know, and you don't do this or you do this, you know. But you found out for yourself on your own, you know, journey, what it is, you know, that, you know, works for you, that you're in alignment with, you know. It might not, you might not be in agreement with your parents, but you always done, you know, what it was that they advised you on, or that, like, you know, or maybe that you didn't have a choice as well with the Four of Pentacles because it was closed. You know, it can talk about being kind of restricted, you know, in some way. And I'm not just saying that it could be, you know, to do with your parents, but some type of experience that you've had, you know, as a child, you know, or experiences growing up from a child, and it's had you, you know, you learned, you know, lessons, you know. And this could be talking about the Saturn, you know, in the last 30 years of your life as well, you know. And you talks about, you know, moving out of this. Saturn is talking about, you know, hard lessons being learned, you know. But you've gone through this now, and, you know, coming into the future, it's you know, opening up now for you, that, you know, you no longer have to learn these life lessons. You've learned them, you know. You've learned your karma, and now you know, Saturn now is going to give you a blessing, because of this, because you've gone through it, you know, because you've learned your life lessons, you know. Or, you know, certain life lessons, but now you're going to be, you know, giving or receiving, you know, some type of gift. you know, and it's, you know, and definitely you've got healing, you've had healing done, you know, through this, but you're just letting things go, you know. It could be to do with as well, you know, karma that's gone down through, you know, generations of family. You know, if you look back, you know, on you know, your siblings or your parents or your, you know, your grandparents, they may have had this ongoing thing throughout, you know, the generations, you know what I mean? And that karma is now done with, you know, that way it's over. Because what it's bringing in is bringing in justice, you know, it's bringing in balance. And justice also talks about karma, you know. And if it's to do, you know, with generational family, like, you know, I believe that the karma is now over, you know, it's been paid. It's been paid back, you know, in full. This is lovely, absolutely lovely. But I feel, you know, it's not something, you know, like that you're going to be celebrating, shouting out from the treetops. It's more to do, I feel, with serenity, you know. Being at peace, you know, with yourself, you know, your soul being at peace. You know, accepting the things, you know, the serenity prayer, accepting the things that you cannot change. You know, the courage to change, you know, what, and, you know, the wisdom to know the difference. I think that's the way this goes. So we have here is the Page of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Six of Swords, wow, and the Page of Cups. Well, the Page of Swords, you know, is, you know, the researcher, you know, and this is probably all to do as well with your mental thoughts, your mind, the way you think, or that, and it could have been, you know, your way of thinking was you were kind of ripping yourself off, you know, you were being your own worst enemy, basically, do you know? This is in the past now for you. You've been your own worst enemy, you know, at times, ripping yourself off. But now, you know, and you probably have been on an emotional journey, you know, but I feel with the Six of Swords, you're learning, you know, you're rediscovering, or you're learning a new way of, you know, a new journey, so to speak. But I definitely see here with this Page of Swords and the Six of Swords, you could be even going back to learning, going back to study. But it also talks about, you know, spiritual learning, you know, you know, leading a life, you know, in spirituality. And the Page of Cups talks about, you know, if it's to do with spirituality, it actually can talk about an awakening, you know, and you could have had an awakening, you know, in the past, you know. You know, you could have, you know, even realised, had a self-realisation about someone or about a situation, and you woke up. You had a wake-up call. Could also talk about your health. You know what I mean? You had different struggles, you know, within your health area, physical health, mental health, it can talk about. And this also gave you a wake-up call, you know, in the past. But it does talk about, you know, we have 2 pages here that you're starting, you know, fresh again. You're looking at life in a different way, definitely. And you're being, you're going to be kinder with yourself. You know, emotionally kinder with yourself, and being, once again, I keep saying this word, serenity. You know, being at peace. And just let's see this, because what's coming in for you here in your present time is the 10 of Pentacles. I definitely feel for whoever this is for, you know, this is talking about, you know, generations. This is talking about, you know, being loyal to older generations. So, you know, your parents, your grandparents, or that, you know, but and for that, you know, for that alone, or for, you know, releasing karma through generations, you're going to be rewarded. You know, you're going to be rewarded in to do, you know, with family, you know, it could be, you know, even money as well. But I feel, you know, here with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands, she is, you know, a very passionate person. You know, she's also very psychic. She can tell you your own secrets. But she likes to, you know, or she will, not that she likes to, she will go for what it is that she wants, you know, she will achieve it, you know, with this, she will achieve it. She holds, you know, the crystal ball to her own future, so to speak. But we have here, you know, is the Ace of Wands, brand new beginning, you know, brand new in creativity, you know, in work. It could be a new job, you know, a new partnership, you know, that you're going to be going into, and it's going to bring in abundance to you, you know, abundance of money. And it also, you know, a new way of thinking with the Ace of Swords. You know, you're going to have clarity of mind. Could be new beginnings as well in your health area. I feel that very strongly for a lot of people here. So yeah, feel just more so that, you know, and you're going to have a new zest for life. That's what the Queen of Wands talks about, having, you know, a zest for life, a new, you know, very passionate, you know. I think, you know, with this, you know, new beginning for your creativity, whether it to be, you know, with work or an idea of some sort, you know, and I feel that this is going to start, you know, materializing for you over the next 10 months. But I feel that for the next week to a month, you're going to see these new beginnings, these new changes, you know. We also have here is the 7 of Pentacles, you know, the World card and the Knight of Wands. 7 of Pentacles talks about investment. I feel that, you know, you have put a lot of detail, you know, into your present time. You've worked on a lot of different things just to build up, you know, something, you know, building up your future. It's not just something, it's building up your future, building up your finances, you know. It could be something that you're working on, something creativity, and you just keep adding to it, you know, and it's flourishing. It's going to start flourishing here. You're leaning on this wand, you know, this wand of passion. And you know, it's opening up a new world to you, you know. It's going to bring in, you know, a new chapter in your life, you know, and with this Knight of Wands, you're going to be very adventurous, you know, and I want to say again, within the next month, this is, you know, you're really going to put, you know, put things in motion here, you know. It's going to start within the next week to a month, and you're going to be put into motion. If this is to do with a relationship, I feel that, you know, we have here is the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands in your present time. This could be talking about, you know, an age gap, you know, what you call it, in a relationship, you know. So one of the parties may be, you know, a bit younger, you know, than the other or that, but there's someone, you know, coming toward you, you know, and this, you know, Knight of Wands, you know, is very, you know, passionate, you know, about the things, you know, that he does. He's also, you know, but he's learning to be a king, you know, that way. And he likes to take on adventure, he likes to take on new things, you know what I mean. And he's looking, you know, at the Queen of Wands, you know, probably, you know, either you know, are looking at this person, you know what I mean. Here, that was the Knight of Wands we're talking about, but you're looking at this, you know, the Queen of Wands, that she, you know, you want to aspire to that person, you know what I mean. You're gravitating towards that person because you see yourself in them, and you want to be that, you know, you want to become, you know, once again it's talking about alignment, you know what I mean, that you're coming, you know, into alignment with it is that, you know, your higher purpose, you know, basically how, you know, you want to go ahead, you know, in your life. But with a relationship, you know, it's very, very positive, you know, that way. You know, and if it's to do with a relationship, there's great passion here, great desire, and that. I'm just going to deal out a few more cards here for the future. Yeah, I feel, you know, going forward for yourself, you know, there's great passion, there's a zest here for life. And if, you know, if you feel that you don't have this zest for life, you need to get it, because good things are coming to you. See what I said, what's, you know, good, because we have here is the Queen of Cups, we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Two of Cups. I feel with the Queen of Cups now, you know, the Queen of Cups, like, she's a mothering energy or whatever. She's also very, you know, she can, you know, show her emotions probably at the moment, you know. If this is yourself, if this is the energy that you're taking on, you're kind of containing your emotions, and you're containing your emotions probably to do with it, you know, a past person, you know, a past life experience, or, you know, something that you really love. Because we have here is the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups, you know, it's a lovely energy because it talks about, you know, innocence, childhood innocence, you know. It talks about, you know, having fun, just, you know, no complications whatsoever, just you know, no mental, you know, how would you say, no anxiety or anything, just having, simple fun. And this could be to do with a past person, in your life, or someone that you had past life experiences with. But it just talks about, enjoying enjoying the now. That's it, staying in the present time, not, thinking about the past, not worrying about the past, or not, worrying about what's to come in the future, enjoying the present time. That's as well what the Six of Cups is all about. And the Two of Cups here could do, definitely because of the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. What's the talk about? It screams out, romantic soul partnerships. Romantic soul partnerships, that was very, that's very healing, and the same with the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups also talks about a divine connection. That that the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's, to be God, the universe, or, spirituality, religion, it's telling you that, the divine is bringing this relationship together. And I feel that, this relationship, if it is somebody from the past, it's somebody that, that you connected with. And you may have separated and gone, on your different paths or whatever, but the energy is getting brought back, intertwining again, for a reason, and you're probably going to, come back and to a person or to a relationship and tell them what you have learned, but once again, I have to say very strongly, this is to do with, generations of family letting go of karma, because the Six of Cups can talk about this as well. And with the Two of Cups, do you know what I mean? Maybe you may have separated, from somebody, to to sort out, karmic situations, or that, that have been troubling you, and you're kind of, unblocking these, for the Two of Cups, for you to come back together, even if it's a brand new relationship, you haven't met this person, but this is as to the reason why, it talks about, that it's happened, in a previous life, or that. This lovely reading, absolutely lovely. I am going to pull an angel card here. Yeah, so the Soul Retriever talks about that as well. It talks about going back to the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? Talks about stop, trying to please people. You know what I mean? Or trying to keep people, happy, and making yourself unhappy. You know what I mean? Start feeding your own soul, because this life, it isn't a dress rehearsal. Do you know that way? So let's see what the angel cards. Hope we get a nice angel card here. Ideas and inspirations. That's lovely. So you will, be ideas coming to you, or you've had these ideas, or you've been inspired recently, I feel, as well, to move on forward, and there is, like, can you see this? There's a little angel here, I feel like it, like that, it's like a childlike angel, childlike innocence. I feel as well, if some have, there has been, and here especially with, a loss of, a child, as they say, a rainbow child, or that, maybe there's a child coming back into, your family, that's, a child is being brought back in, being reborn, and this child's going to be very healing. And we have here is spiritual growth. What was I saying? So, maybe whatever this is, gone on in the past or whatever, and this, it's brought you, some spiritual growth. As I said at the beginning, there could have been some type of an awakening, but you had to go through all of this, you know what I mean? You know, whether it's to do with, you know, your health, your actual physical, mental health, whether it's to do with, you know, a relationship that you felt that you were entrapped or imprisoned in, or, you know, whether it's just anything in general, you know, maybe, you know, a work, you know, a career that you weren't, you felt like that you weren't grown in, you know what I mean? But with the spiritual growth, you've had some type of, you know, an awareness, over the last couple of, look here, we have, you know, the power. So you're gaining back your power, do you know what I mean? Going forward, and, you know, you've come through a lot, you know, shown you how powerful you are. But now, instead of being like, you know, a survivor of sorts, that you're going to create your own destiny, you know what I mean, and go for what it is. Basically, you know, you're getting in alignment, and for whatever it is that, not that you want, whatever it is that's destined for you, that's fated for you. Because with the Six of Cups, it talks about, you know, something that is fated, something that is destined, you know. Just see, is there anything that once again, look at this spiritual growth. So it's just, you know, we have it in both cards here, spiritual growth. So if this is to do with a relationship, I feel if there was separation, you know, with the two parts, or even if there was no separation, there's spiritual growth on both sides here. I just want to try this last deck here. Oh, this is lovely. So with the Dragon Oracle here, we have it's one of my favorite cards, you know, is the Rainbow Dragon, and it says, brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. You know, have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities, you know, that's coming your way. And the rainbow for me talks about alignment, do you know what I mean? Getting into alignment to what, you know, spiritually what it is, you know, going forward in life. You know, your chakras coming into alignment, your life path coming into alignment, you know, your spiritual path coming into alignment here. And what do we have behind it? The Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It is time for service. When you give, you receive. So yeah, so for me now, this would be personally for me, what you call it, if it's, you know, that you're doing something that you feel, you know, is soul fulfilling, and, you know, that you're spiritually aligned to, you need to, you know, give freely so you can receive, and, you know, it's time for service, it's time, you know, to do the job, you know, so to speak. This is lovely. Yeah, so that's everything. So I do hope you like my reading. If you do, please like, share and leave a comment. Slán.